Yo, 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 yo. YouTube, my people, my community. Welcome back to another episode of the Bakery Podcast. I'm your host, Mac Diesel, the host with the most, the best, better than the rest. And we're back for another episode 20. No, I'm sorry, episode 19, my bad. To today's subject is going to be about life at different ages. So from when we're born to a toddler, elementary school, all the way up to high school, and then college and on. We're going to talk about, remembering the days when we were kids, remembering those ages, remembering what was going on at that time. Then, like I said, high school, college, and then talk about the future a little bit. And then we're also going to talk about just enjoying the little things when it comes to those different stages in life. Then when we get into our studio sesh, we're going to talk about Lotto's new album, Tory Lanez, and then we're also going to talk about Drake possibly. I'll think about it, but I don't know yet. And then after that, we're going to go on to Movies and Friends and discuss about the Disney Plus event and just kind of give my opinion on everything that I saw and what I felt when watching the whole thing. So let's not wait any further. Let's jump right into it. Let's get it cracking. Let's get it popping. So life stages for different ages. Like, where do we even begin? You know what I mean? When we think about different life stages and ages, it's kind of like a timeline almost. Not necessarily a timeline, but it also has to do with kind of like making it add up, like how Marvel does different timelines and different universes and Spider-Verses and multiverses and things like that. It's like we have these memories in our head of when we were younger, now, or if you're older, when you're my age or younger, and then you're thinking about now. Like, it's just like, it just goes in order sometimes. But remembering parts of our childhood, like remembering being a kid, like how fun it was to not have any responsibilities. You go to class, or not even go to class, but you go to school to go to class. Then you go play recess and you get into sports and you just enjoying life for what it is. And that's kind of how I look at it for me, like from ages 5 to about 5 to like 13. I was in sports all the time. I was playing the game on the weekends, especially during the week. I couldn't play because, school. So you had to be in bed at a certain time. That sucked. Shout out to my mom for that. Always putting me on crunch time during the week. I only had so much time before I had to go get into bed. And then you think about days when you go to school, all the friends you made, trying to fit in, doing recess. That was one thing I remember as a kid is whenever I wasn't in school and I was on the weekends and I wasn't doing sports, I would go hang out with my mom. We would go bowling. We would go watch movies. We would go get ice cream and stuff like that. And then when sports came around, I was just super busy all the time. Like I said, 5 to 13, that's when you're really starting to like grow into your own human being a little bit, but just at a younger age. And so if I could give you guys one memory about that age, 5 to 13, I would say it'd be sports. That was probably the one thing that was important to me at the time. I was very energetic. I was very wanting to do fun stuff. I was very just active. So once I started playing basketball, it was fun for me because I was getting into it, hearing the fans, all the parents watching me play, making friends as I was playing, and I just felt like super good. So every time I stepped on the court or every time I stepped on the field, it was like I'm in the zone. I was just me. And of course I was little at the time, so I was a lot more faster, a little bit more athletic, able to just do it all. And just being able to play at that age, it wasn't until I got a little bit older that I actually started getting into watching sports so I could understand the game from a different perspective. At a young age, kids don't really develop a knowledge for basketball and football or baseball or whatever it is that you guys play at such a young age. You just play it because it's something that your parents wanted you to try. So when you try it, you get addicted to it, right? So for me, I got so addicted to it that I wanted to play two sports at once. I thought I was like, I don't even know, like somebody that could just teleport and just go play one sport, rejuvenate, and then teleport to another sport. But that's not how it worked. Unfortunately, that stinks. And I wish it was like that. But doing that at that age was fun for me. I felt like it was the only thing I knew just growing up. And then, of course, once I got to like 11, 12, 13, that's when games got involved, right? So me playing those sports, I also wanted to play the actual game of the sport that I played. But I was also interested in a lot of different genres of games that I never knew about. There were some games I couldn't play, like Grand Theft Auto, couldn't play that. Anything that had like blood and gore and things like that, couldn't play that. If it had an M on it, I wasn't getting it. I was mad. I couldn't get nothing mature. I was mature for my age, but I'd be too scared to try to do anything crazy if I was playing something that was M rated. My mother would kill me if I ever tried anything. So doing that was never in my mind. I was like, nope, too scared. Don't want to go to jail. Don't want to shoe in my butt. Don't want to be in the hospital. So if she says no, she says no. It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, who wants to get a whooping at that age? Not me. Never me. So, and then like just thinking about like the other kids I was around, like how we were just full of life, and like we used to have fun in class together, playing different like just games that we would come up with, whether it be racing each other, tag. It was always something about that age that I look back at now that I'm like, oh my gosh, like being a kid was legit. Because now I'm paying bills. I'm going to work every day. I'm just making sacrifices I don't want to make. It sucks. It's not fun. Not fun at all. But, I had to do what I had to do. Unfortunately. And that was the worst part about it. Being at that age, 5 to 13, good times. Very good times. But now that we talked about that stage of life, just being a kid, now we can go into the 15 to 25 age range, right? So that's high school, college. If you don't call it college, you're working, doing YouTube, streaming, finding different avenues that brings that childhood-like memory back. It brings that fun back to your mind. So when I think about the age range from 15 to 25, you want to talk about a lot? Let's see. 15 to 25. 15, I think that was close to that was high school. Because 5 to 15 was elementary and middle school. Then from 15 to 25 is high school and college. Yeah, got it. So 15 to 25, that was when real life started to hit. That's when you start learning about the actual world we're living in, right? And it's like, okay, I'm 15, 16, 17 now. I'm a teenager, almost adult. What are some things that I had to pick up on? I had to learn about. I had to have an understanding of. And there was a memory, and I'll talk about that memory. It was hygiene, and it's I promise it's not a nasty story. Bear with me. Hygiene was a very important thing. Brushing teeth, easy. Could do that in my sleep. Had no problem with it. It was just the part of puberty that I didn't quite understand. So you got girl puberty, you got guy puberty. We're going to talk about guy puberty. The guy puberty, at least for me, at that age, I was growing faster than a lot of my friends. I was taller than a lot of my friends. And a lot of my clothes were a lot larger than a lot of my friends. And in my head, I'm like, man, I'm like a freak of nature. Like, what's wrong with me? I'm weird. Like, why do I look like this? Why am I taller than this person? Why am I taller than everybody in my whole grade? And we're all the same age. And so I just didn't get it, right? So then you get to the point where you start growing facial hair. You start getting acne. And then the important part of armpit hair and hair in general. The thing that I did not understand about hair was hair attracts a lot of stench. Not even stench, but it accumulates a smell sometimes, right? And it accumulates a smell that either cannot be pleasant or it just doesn't smell at all, depending on your body. You know, who knows? Now, I will say it also includes a lot of what you eat, what you drink, and how often you take care of your body. So for me, again, at that age, I was growing and maturing body-wise a lot faster than everybody else, a lot faster than my peers. And I didn't understand why I would smell a certain way versus my friends. And so I would think to myself, well, what the heck's going on? What's happening? And at one point I started to notice I was growing armpit hair, and I'm like, what does that mean? I don't know. Chest hair. I'm getting hair on my face. Mustache. I had a little peach fuzz at that moment. But once I got out of, high school, started growing a little bit more. Now it's developed into this. Anywho, then I started getting hair on my toes, and my feet would get a smell after practice, and I'm like, what? I'm like, what? What is going on? I'm like, what is happening to my body? And so that's when I came to the realization of, okay, deodorant, showering. How can we get on a consistent schedule to where I don't stink? Because I don't want nobody telling me I stink. I don't want to be going around a bunch of girls and them telling me I stink. How can I fix that problem? What can I do? And so I was grateful to have some men in my life that kind of helped me understand the concept of keeping myself clean, taking care of my hygiene, making sure I'm not running around here smelling like anything and everything. And of course, because I was playing football, you have pads, pants, socks, these tight cleats in this hot sun, all that mixed together, and it just conjured up some smells that just were not fun, just stunk. And so once I grasped that concept, I was like, okay, now I know it's important that I need to shower every day, whether that be in the mornings or at night, or even in the morning and at night, depending on what I do throughout the day. If I don't do anything throughout the day, I may end up still taking a shower. I mean, I do it now, but at that age, I wasn't doing it morning and night. I would just do it morning when I go to school. No, I'm sorry. I would do it at night before the next day to go to school. Go to school, go through all my classes. Then I would have practice I'll go to the locker room, take a shower, go to lunch. Then I'll have practice after school. Then it was like, okay, pra- shower at the school or shower when I get home. 9 times out of 10, I did one or the other. Just didn't. It wasn't always the same. It was one or the other, depending on what I had going on. So, and then I also remember when I just I had a serious injury where I tore my ACL, and it kind of scared the daylights out of me because I never had a serious injury that was like scary to the point where I didn't know what it was. And shout out to Dr. Schmidt. He works for the Spurs, and he did my surgery, and he kind of helped me have a calming sense about it and helped me understand, like, okay, this is what happens sometimes. Your body just, has these moments where they break down sometimes, but with the proper surgery and the proper care for it, it makes things a lot simpler, a lot better, and then you right back on your feet. And so after high school, or during high school and after high school, you have these friends that you're close to. You lose a lot once you graduate, and then you move on to college, and it's seriously when adulthood starts. Once you hit college and you get out of college, and we'll go into this after I'm done talking about it, but once you get to that college stage of your life, that's when life really just starts for you. And a lot of the things that you were worried about back then, you don't worry about as much anymore because of the life changes that you're having. So it's always important to enjoy what you have now in the moment. That way, when you get further in life, you're not stuck on those moments, or you're not stuck thinking about how good those moments were and being negative in the future. And now that brings me to the age of 25, to the future, which is the stage that I'm in right now. And I have to say, at this stage in my life, I have graduated college. I have a great job. Don't have any kids yet. And I'm enjoying life for what it is. I think often sometimes at my age, and you guys, whoever else is at my age right now, a lot of times we get sucked into this vortex of wanting to live the life that everybody else has. And we don't take the time to enjoy the life that we have and be grateful for the things that we have and what we possess and what was given to us. It's hard to accept that, because I know for me, there has been times, and if I can give an example, I have seen a lot of my friends build relationships with girls or guys, because I have guy friends and girlfriends. They have all built these different relationships with their significant other. They've gotten married. They got kids. They have their own house. They, had a good job right off the bat. They were doing things that they were able to do or wanted to do at our age. And I often was kind of like upset about it. I was jealous. I didn't understand why. I wanted to have that life. But I also had to remember I was going through college. And going through college was one of my favorite things because it taught me so many different lessons as far as patience, growth, and accomplishing more than what I thought I could. Going through college allowed me to grow into a man, allowed me to grow into a human being. I was still able to do the same stuff I used to do when I was younger, just at a very much calmer level. Because once you get to a certain age, it's like 27 is like, it's not old, but it's like your body's just like, hey man, you need to sit down somewhere. Unless you're constantly working out and doing things, and it's a little bit different because you're active. But that's besides the point. You just grow in your own way. You grow on your own path, and you experience things that people before you have experienced, but also you're experiencing your own life, your own story. You know, we all watch movies and we see how the storyline plays out and the plot and this and that. And that's pretty much how our life works is you have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And when I say end, I don't mean death, but you have an end, a beginning, a middle, and an end where you started out life one way, you get to the middle, and it changes a little bit. And then once you get to the end, that's when you're at your stages of life where you've accomplished what you've accomplished. You've worked hard to get where you're at, and you're just enjoying life for what it is. And that's where I'm at right now, is that I'm at the middle of my life where I'm experiencing the change and the different types of growth, and getting to places in my life where I know I'm going to be okay, and I'm going to experience even more than I have before. So I'm always prepared. I'm always ready to adapt. I'm always willing to learn and grow in ways that I didn't think possible. So if I can end it on any type of note, any positive note, any loving note, I'll say this. Whatever it is you're going through right now, whichever stage in your life that you're in, whether it be young, mid-20s, or older, never take life for granted to the point where you don't feel like you have control of what you want to do and your happiness. Be grateful for the little things you have. Be happy that people that you know are doing things that they're loving and doing things that they always wanted to do when y'all were kids. Experience life in a way that you never thought possible. Go travel. Go to concerts alone. You know, just do things that make you happy at the end of the day, because if you're not making yourself happy, nobody's going to do it for you. You have to be willing to accept what you're going through and what you have now. That way, later down the road, you're not sitting here and having regrets about, oh, I should have did this. Oh, I should have did that. You're stuck in the past at that point. So let go of that past. Lean into the future. Lean into the now. And just keep the ball rolling. Keep it pushing. Keep it moving. And I promise you, life will be so much better. But now that we got all that stuff out of the way, let's jump into this studio sesh. So, as a lot of people already know, as a lot of y'all probably already know, Lotto just dropped a new album. That album is called, and I should know this because she's one of my favorite female artists, Sugar Honey Iced Tea. That album, without a doubt, was probably one of her best albums she's dropped. And I didn't really listen to the last few, but this one, I don't think there was any skips for me. Even though I can't sit here and say I relate to what she be talking about, she was spitting. She was definitely spitting. Props to her. I have to say, she really just, the way she put it together and the way she was rapping and, you know, all the different songs that she's had, I felt like there wasn't a beat that was trash. You know, her lyrics were how most female rapper lyrics should be and are. So I get it. You know, whatever it is that she was rapping about. I think she's a very good up and coming artist. I think she's doing a fantastic job with keeping the female rap game alive. She's one of the top artists right now. Of course, along with Meg, Glorilla, Flo Milli. I can't really think of any other female rap artists because I don't listen to female rap a lot. But I do like her. I like listening to her. Don't mention Sexy Red to me because I do not listen to her. I don't know nothing. I know those few songs that she has, but I don't really listen to her willingly. So, you know how that goes. I want to know in the comments, what's y'all's dislikes, what y'all liked, and y'all's opinion on the album. So drop some opinions in the comments below. I want to see what y'all have to say about it. And then next, we're gonna talk about Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez has been dropping some songs from jail. Free Tory, by the way. It's just my opinion. I think I haven't listened to all of them. I'm probably gonna listen to them today just to see what he's been rapping about, saying, or whatever. Praying to get it out soon. I for one am a fan of his music, even though there's this whole controversial thing about how he shot Meg, which I don't believe, but you can't believe anything in the media nowadays. So who's to say it's true? Who's to say it's not true? Not me, because I don't know. I wasn't there. So you know how that goes. It is what it is. Whatever. But we'll see what happens. And then as far as Drake, I thought I had something on Drake, but I don't. I think I pretty much said all I had to say about Drake. It is what it is. But on to the next topic. Let's get into these movies and friends. Disney Plus. Disney Plus is going crazy. First, they had the event for Marvel, the next phase. But Disney in general is busting out all the stops right now. They're coming with some heat. Lilo and Stitch, Moana 2, Frozen, Incredibles, Toy Story 5. There's just so many. I'm more excited about Lilo and Stitch than anything right now. Oh, Shrek as well. Well, I don't know if Shrek is part of Disney. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it's DreamWorks, but I don't know. What else? I can't even think of everything that they dropped. They dropped so much stuff, and I'm so excited for it. Like, my inner child is screaming for joy. So I'm like, when are we getting these movies? Can we get them now? Next week? Next year? At the beginning of the year? You know what I'm saying? It's just so many different options, so many different possibilities. I'm raging for them. I need to see them because my childhood is depending on this. And if they don't do it right, I will never forgive them for it. Never. Well, don't quote me on that. Maybe I will. Who knows? But with that being said, that's all I have for y'all today. I appreciate y'all coming through as always, loving on me and enjoying the time that we have together and that we spend on this podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment your opinions down below about that Lotto album. I really want to interact with you guys and try to get some topics flowing between us. I want to know what y'all want to talk about. What's something that y'all want to, put on the podcast. You feel me? But I'm going to get out of here. Love y'all. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.
Yeah, we rolling. We doing our thing. Hey, bad little shawty. She looking for me.